It's time to go inside Florida State football. This is the Jimbo Fisher Show. The Jimbo Fisher Show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery, proud sponsor of FSU Athletics, the Florida Department of Transportation, drive sober or get pulled over, the energy-saving conservation programs of Tico Peoples Gas, Camping World and Good Sam, your one-stop shop for everything RV, Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories, The Gem Collection, finest quality jewelry, extraordinary service, and the best possible prices. SunTrust, the official bank of the Florida State Seminoles. Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe. By visitflorida.com. Hello and welcome to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Florida State comes back home and welcomes Bobby Bowden back home. And Coach, you do so in convincing fashion, a 49-17 win. Congratulations.
We did. We started really fast. Great first quarter, 42-0 at halftime. And got a lot of our young guys in the game and got them participate in the game, offense, defense. And you have to build that depth. And then we were excited to do that. But proud of our guys for the way we started the game. You know, we practiced well all week. We talked about that, and I thought they responded very well.
And it was a week where there could have been some distractions,
yes,
obviously, with Coach Bowden coming back. For you personally, given your connection to the Bowden family, and having served on Bobby's staff, what did it mean to you? And I know you couldn't get too caught up in that during the game.
But it was very special to me that he got the acknowledgement from the fans and the people, and it's right that Florida State and Coach Bowden are back together again. Again, I said it before, it's what's right for Florida State and it's what's right for college football. And like I say, he's as good as ever coach. Was ever as good on the sideline as a coach, and definitely the best man that ever walked the sideline.
Well, it certainly was a terrific atmosphere at Doak Campbell Stadium, and boy, you guys, your team just went out and jumped all over NC State. I mean, and we'll look at the highlights, but
yes,
the way you played that first quarter, you couldn't really argue with much.
We did. We created turnovers on defense. We had big plays on offense, and we were consistent in both ways. We didn't give up any big plays on defense, and we didn't hit big plays on offense. We were on a consistent drive. Bang, bang, 3 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, 4 yards, 5. Just kept moving the ball. Not only were the big plays the key, but it was a consistency in which we played with.
The result, a resounding win for Florida State as the Seminoles run their record to 7-0. When we come back, we will crank up the highlight machine and take a look at that furious first quarter for Florida State as the Noles roll over NC State. Stay with us. We're just getting started here on the Jimbo Fisher Show. Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Tom Block and Coach Fisher. And Coach, any work week really starts almost immediately after the preceding game.
Yes.
And I know as much as your players deserve to celebrate that win over Clemson, you had to turn that page pretty quickly and make sure you put in a good week of work getting set for NC State.
We really did, especially getting home slow. Getting home at 6 in the morning on Sunday morning, and then you got to recover, getting rest and sleep. And that 48 hours after the game is very critical. And our guys did a great job of recovering. We got a good week. I was really pleased with the week of practice. I mean, and the guys did a great job, and it showed on Saturday.
Yeah, it certainly did. I mean, and what a moment this was.
Yeah, Coach Bowden playing the spirit. There's nothing that's more perfect and right about college football than him being able to do that. And, the only great kick, we started off bad here. Roberto kicked that thing, tried to get too precise in that corner. We start them off in good field position. They take a shot, and I'm going to tell you, there's great coverage by Joyner and Terrence Brooks over the top. I'm going to tell you right now, Terrence Brooks is playing great football. LaMarcus is too, but great football now. And diving play, and we get it. We get a first play, and we get a nice throw up the sideline. Great catch by Rashad Green. Good protection all night by our offensive line. Good play action here by Jameis. Finds a little naked, gets a nice throw outside. Great hands again by 80. We're able to move the pocket a little bit, create some diversion. Got a little flare out here to Carlos Williams. Great block right there by Christian Green. And then Carlos gets that ball in space now. He can do something with it. Now we get a little what a block by KB. And watch this block downfield by 80. Look how long he held that block. 2 receivers. Our offensive line did a great job. But those blocks right there, 1 and 80 were the key to that. Not only did they make big plays catching the ball, they were doing a great job blocking and playing great team football, and that's a great job by Carlos. Got to keep that ball security down there, but he was good. And then we get another good kickoff, and then we start covering these kicks very well. Now we kick the deep right, and they want to not bring it out, get stuck right here, and then we get them back on about the 12, 13, maybe 18-yard line somewhere in there. I'm not sure which it was. They get a quarterback run in our defense. There's Telvin Smith. Christian Jones played outstanding. Telvin, Eddie Goldman being unbelievably steady. Timmy Jernigan. Great leverage on the ball. And there's that number 20 again, sticking his nose. Jalen Ramsey in the ball game. I mean, those guys all play great. We get the punt. Kenny Shaw is doing a great job in our punt return. Great job making a guy miss, taking it on the run, getting north-south, getting vertical right here. But you don't realize how quick Kenny is. his body quicks, boy, he can change direction.
I don't know how he came out of that.
I don't either. And we get a nice play action here on first down. I like seeing Jameis slide the other way just a hair, but he finds KB and pulls him across on the post route. And that big body, now when he gets one-on-one, it's hard to handle. KB makes a great play right there, and we start off 14-0. Got to turn, got to return, then come right back and got this big play by KB, and the offensive line brought Chad Abrams had a great block on that play, and just doing a great job. Great kickoff here by Roberto. Again, good depth. They bobble it, and we're all over them. Our coverage team, there's Telvin Smith, Marcus Olegwe, Ronald Darby. Now, Darby had another great game. Look at him jamming out here on the outside. Christian Jones playing super football. Guys flying around. Mario Edwards Jr. playing great. But that front four is doing a great job. Here it is. Darby just about got another pick. They tried to back shoulder it. And I tell you what, when Darby's out there, boy, we're a different team. Where he does a great job. He and P.J. Williams are really special with LaMarcus out there. Again, nice third down. Good job by number 20. Again, always in the right spot. There's Nate Andrews, too. Another freshman doing a great job for us. And they get the punt. And again, there's Kenny. Gets a few yards, gets up the sideline. Again, being quick. You thought he had him hemmed up, and just did a great job. Here we get a nice play action rollout. Jameis gets his feet set, finds another comeback route to Rashad on the sideline. Nick O'Leary over there running a good route. And then find Kenny Shaw back in the middle of the field, a little dig route. Doing a great job going inside, outside. We get a little speed play here. Great block. What's Devontae Freeman? You talk about had a great game. Devontae had 80-some yards, 2 touchdowns, blocked extremely well, caught a big flare route for a bunch of yards, and him and Rashad really did a nice job. Now we get a nice stretch play, and there he goes. There he goes. Great blocking up front by Stork, and Trey Jackson, I thought, had an outstanding game. Bobby Hart had a very good game in the game. Josue had a good game. And then Cam Erving on the backside. It's great running by Aiton. Just everybody making their blocks at all 3 levels. First level, second level, and third level. And Nick O'Leary did a good job up front. Nick didn't get a lot of balls, had a couple called to him, but he blocked extremely well and had a touchdown. Great job by P.J. Williams there. Timmy Jernigan doing a great job. Great. There's leverage on the ball. Terrence Brooks exploding on that football. And caused a fumble. We're able to pick it up. Telvin, that's super. And get that field position and be able to strike and come right on back. Here we had a night. They bring the blitz, and we find Nick O'Leary one-on-one on the backside. Nick's doing a great job at yak yards, gets in the end zone for his 5th or 6th touchdown on the 6th touchdown on the year, I believe it is, and just being an unbelievably productive tight end for us right now, playing great football. Great job by Nick. Great ball security there.
This is all in the first quarter, we should point out. I mean, you just really jumped all over the Wolfpack.
We really did. Terrence Smith got another start in the game, and that athleticism and playmaking ability, boy, he just gets better and better. Doing a great job. Here they are. They get the edge. Now, third down right here. They get this. They pick this up on third down. We got to get that. We got lined up wrong and had a gap short there. Nice play by Marcus Legway and the guys. And here they. Oh, great! Look at that, Joyner. I think Joyner might have grown. Dadgum, he got those hands up there. See if we want to check him. See if he grew an inch. But great play right here. Great open field tackle by Telvin and the boys, and they try to look like a forward lateral there once he crossed the line of scrimmage. And another good punt. And Kenny's doing a great job of getting under these punts and catching the ball. Getting outside. Get down. Go ahead and get down. Don't take the punishment. Be careful right in here now. We don't need to get in one of those. Then we get a nice route. Got KB outside one-on-one. KB's doing a great job of turning this yak yard. Well, tell you what, KB looked fast in the game the other day. I mean, really ran good. Here's a nice third down. They got the first 2 options. He dumps it out in the flat to his third option, and that's a great third option right there, number 8 out in the flat one-on-one. Great job by Jameis, and we're moving the football down the field here. Get a nice little play action. And he's going to pull Rashad Green on another post route, taking him all the way to the other side of the field. And the quarters coverage they had, we were able to pull him all the way across. Great play by number 80, who had 130 yards on the day, something like that.
8
catches.
for 137.
And another touchdown. And just being split the quarters. And it was a great throw and route, just at his speed and let him run away from everybody. And great throw and catch right there. Great job of the line. Dan Hicks in the ball game right there playing. DeMonte McAllister, nice play in the game. Doing a great job. Him, Niall Lawrence got in that ball game. Chris Casher in the ball game right there. Chris standing up on the screen. Nice tackle right here. They get the first down, end up picking it up. But they get trying to reverse. They get on the backside right here. Oh, get picked up. PJ gets caught right there. Got to keep good leverage. And we get back. They get minimal gain. And get the flat route, and Ron Darby steps right in front on the coverage. And that's 2 interceptions, I think, 2 weeks in a row, if I'm not mistaken, for Ron Darby.
It is.
Great play by Ronald. And we come back right here. We had this route right open down the middle, but then KB still got to catch it. But Cam's leg went back and kicked Jameis's foot just as he threw it and took his plant foot away. And he got pushed back in the pocket. And we can't have that. We end up with our first punt. And we should have had this ball down. We got to catch this ball. Carlos got to make that play in the air right there. And we need to kick that ball about to 8, not to 3. But nice job there by Timmy Jones. Our front was dominant all day. I mean, they really were up front, making it tough for them to do anything. There's 24 and 20 and making plays all over the place and just being aggressive. I liked it. Here we get a nice dig route on a third down conversion to Rashad Green back over the middle and doing a great job of throwing the ball between the halves. Here we get a nice play action. We missed the protection here. We had a route open out here, and we missed the protection up inside. We should have had it picked up, and we get behind. Then we have a couple drops. We have 5 drops in the game. We had 5 drop balls. And Kenny Shaw, these guys haven't been dropping balls, and that just shows you how quick your rhythm and timing can go when you don't catch the football. And our defense continued to play well in the game. Another drop right here, rare one by number 80.
You think that was focus related as the game?
I didn't. I think it does. And we get a nice fake punt. Carlos gets the first down. We're able to get the momentum back here. And I didn't want to lose the momentum before the half. We played a great first quarter. Now we get a nice run here by 8. But it is about focus and concentration. And you got to learn not to relax. You can't. You got to play every play as if the score is 0-0. Nice run by Rashad. Great by the offensive line. Here he makes a nice run here. We actually miss a block, and he just sticks it in. He's making people miss, running fast now. Great job. Good job there by Nick O'Leary. And just a great run. Boy, Darby back in there making another play. Terrence Brooks about got another pick. But at halftime, we had a great half. We're back 42-0 at halftime, and that's where you want to be. Wish we played a little better in the second quarter, but those things happen. There's going to be times in the game that you don't play as well, but we responded well, got a nice score again before half, got the ball coming out second half, and then wanted to take control of the game.
Expound on the fake punt just a little bit more. We haven't seen you do that too often during your career.
Well, we've had some calls. It just sometimes the looks aren't there. We've had to check out of them, and we had it on. It was a constant. We were going to carry early in this game, and when the look was there, and it happened to be there on that particular play, and it was at a good time because we'd lost momentum in the game. They really didn't gain it, but we didn't have it. And we had stymied a little bit there on a couple drop balls in the second quarter on drives. And we hit it, got the first down, got the run, and got down and got the score and got momentum of the game back. And like I say, it's been called at different times, but they had the right look and we ran it.
Big play of the first half, sponsored by Gem Collection. Not that one. There were a lot to choose from, though. And we'll go back to the second score of the game. It was Kelvin Benjamin as you got a nice return from Kenny Shaw, and then immediately were able to strike on a big play.
And that's critical. When like the defense makes an interception, you're able to score, or you're able to get a good return, then you're able to score. More the momentum of the game just builds and builds. And I talk about it all the time. Momentum is critical when you're talking about college football games.
Kelvin Benjamin, not just the catch, but you highlighted several of the receivers with key blocks,
yes.
And that really is an underrated, underlooked sort of thing until you break down the tape.
And just like the backs when they pick up blitzes, this is a very unselfish team. They don't care who gets the ball, running backs, tight ends, receivers. They just want everybody to get it. And if my job is to block on that play, I'm doing it, and they're playing great team football that way.
Certainly showed in half number 1, 42-0 at intermission on a gorgeous day in Tallahassee as Bobby Bowden returns to Doak Campbell Stadium. We'll step aside, but when we return, we'll take a look at the second half highlights as Florida State handles NC State. Stay with us right here on the Jimbo Show.
Buckle your chin straps. It's time for Inside the Helmet, presented by Napleton Infinity.
Hey, I'm Cam Erving. I'm from Moultrie, Georgia. I'm a left tackle, and I'm a redshirt junior. Pop Warner, Little League football, and I was too big to run the ball, so I had a black stripe on my helmet. And all I could do was play offensive line, defensive line, so I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I remember I got hurt my first game. My mom was worried because she didn't want me to let me play in the first place. But, I mean, hey, look at me now. It was always Florida State, Florida, and Georgia where I'm from. But I was actually a fan of uniforms when I was younger. And, you know, don't hate me now, but I used to like the Miami Hurricanes uniforms. And, you know, but when I came here, everything became ugly, except for Florida State. Well, I've always been the type of person that like to help people. And, you know, I'm a criminology major right now, and, you know, with a sociology minor, and I like to go into social work, you know, work with young kids, you know, and try to get them out of bad situations, be a positive role model for them. It's so surreal. I never thought I'd be in the situation that I'm in right now. Never thought I'd be playing for Florida State. And, you know, the first time I ran out of the tunnel, just to the last time I ran out of the tunnel last year, it's crazy. And, you know, it's nothing like it. There's 5, 6 guys on the team from my area, South Georgia, right up the road. And it's crazy that we went from playing against each other all the way from middle school to high school, and now we're playing with each other in college. It's crazy. And everybody on our team, it's just a bond that I haven't felt in a long time, because the different levels of, athletics is crazy. High school and college is so different. But the bond that our team has as a whole is amazing. I love it, because everybody's there for each other, And even last night we had an O-line dinner, and some of the linebackers showed up. Telvin Smith and a couple of the D linemen, Derek Mitchell, and some of the guys like that. It's just crazy that we can bond and be together. Like, we never saw that when we first got here. It was just O-line stayed to themselves, and defense would stay to themselves, and a certain group of guys would hang with each other. But now it's just everybody together. Odell gave me a nickname my freshman year, when I was on defensive line. And it was because we were in the seg room one day during two-a-days, and everybody was joking, and, I made the guys laugh at it, and he just said something that he didn't, it wasn't funny at the time, but he just kept it going, and it just started to stick. And he called me Possum. I don't know why. It was just, it's there now, It's just something that everybody knows. Nobody really calls me that except for Coach Hagan, but it's just something that guys use sometimes. I just like to chill and relax, because football is a year-round grind, and you have to rest your nerves and relax as much as you can. During the off-season, I'll go home. Sometimes I go fishing. Some of my friends from back home, they'll take me out on their boats and stuff, and just go drive four-wheelers, dirt bikes and stuff. It's just all simple country life. I'm a country boy, so I got to get back to the roots. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show. Florida State with a big lead over NC State. I don't know that I'll use the word comfortable, though, because I know you got to compete 60 minutes. But what was your approach as you came out of the tunnel and when you talked to the team at halftime?
Well, to refocus. We didn't like the way we had a couple lapses there in the second quarter, and refocus, get control of the game, go back out there and play well, and do the things that we had done early in the ball game, and get control of the game again, and just reestablish yourself. And sometimes that can be a great learning tool, because later in some tough games that can be critical. I'm gonna tell you what, these two young guys right here, 7-3, Bobo Wilson and Kermit, doing it. You talk about guys who hit those returns up in there now and can run. Both those guys are doing a great job. And we come out first play, nice. Had a one-on-one outside, and we're able to get the ball to KB, and KB's turned those yak yards into some big plays. Here we get a nice stretch play. Great run through a tackle right here by Devontae Freeman. He's being very physical and just having a great year. A great year. Here we are, a little power play up inside. Great blocking there by Josue and Chad Abrams, who had a good game. Nick O'Leary, everybody. We're just pounding and being physical now. Get a nice little bootleg. And right here, he had two choices. He could hit either one of them. He hits KB. The way that hit on him, the guy got a helmet on the ball, knocked it up, and we unfortunately get a turnover. We wanted to finish that drive. We could have hit the flat or hit either one. Both guys are open. We just got to hang on the football and get the ball up just a hair and make a little better throw. And just got a little disappointed here. They started moving the football, and our twos now, they got to play some great ball in here. Reggie Northup, who usually plays good, there's Dan Hicks. Gerald Demps, nice play right there by Chris Casher. Keelan Smith. We got it. They're one. AJ Levenberry, I thought, come in and did a nice job. He and Northup and those guys, but we got to continue to play at the same level. We get a blitz here, and we get a guy short out here. Marquez gets blocked. We're getting back to football. Got tackled. Good play by EJ. Got to tackle better in space and get to that football. Good job by Casher. I thought he really played off the block really well, getting better to DeMonte. We got to keep being physical and playing hard. Jacoby McDaniel, I thought, had another really good game up front. Great job here. Good play by Reggie Northup, putting pressure on the quarterback and making him pull the ball down. Now they get the field goal. We lose the shutout right here, but we got to get these young guys playing time. We got to get them playing. Now this is. We just set it and we walked out of the huddle. Watch the ball off the foot. Do not leave, because the onside kick. And we had a youngster right there just take his eyes off the ball. Eye violation, and they were able to get it. Good coverage right here by Nick Wason. Played really good right there. Good play by E.J. Levenberry running. DeMarcus Walker in the game right there doing a great job. Callister, McDaniel. There's Lamarcus Brutus in the game. Great job, Marquez White. Boy, that guy's going to end up being a heck of a football player now, I'm going to tell you.
There's a lot of talent on the field right now.
There
Just
really
not that
is.
experience.
And that's why they just got to get out there and keep learning. Great run here by Carlos Williams. Good block by Reuben Carter inside. Giorgio Newberry, Jacob Fair and crew, Lovelady, Barron, all those guys. Miles Davis. Great play here by Jake. You see how strong he is. Gets the ball out of Christian Green in the flat on a naked route, and we're able to just keep the drive going. And then good ball right here. He gets Kenny Shaw on the backside of a little hitch route backside, and Kenny breaks a tackle, and we're able to run down the field. Good job. Good play action. Now he gets a bubble out here. Christian, great block by Bobo. Great job right there by Christian Green, getting the yards he needed to get to. Play action here. This is a second down, good scramble. Just missed a scramble right here to Carl. Oh, just over his fingertips for a big play. I like Jake's eyes, kept him upfield, did a nice job. Here on third down, we got to let the square end go. Right there it is. Just got to pull the trigger. We had the square end, just held it just a hair too long. Pretty good protection, really. We just got to pull the trigger a little quicker. And good flat route right here by them. Joe Demps making the play, and they're moving the ball. Got a little momentum. They get a nice run. They're getting the edge right here. No reason. But we were slanting that way and should have had it. But Keelan right here, we got to get the guy on the ground. We got to get the guy on the ground space and limit it to a minimum 15-yard gain and play defense again. And that's one of the few big plays we've really given up here in a long time, and it's very disappointing. Now, I tell you what, now every time Seven gets that ball, it's electric. He sticks it up in there. He's not scared now. Good job. He about to come out of there. I mean, he was inches, great balancer. That's the thing about it. He's not only fast, he's a great balance and body control guy now. Stick his foot. Good play action here. And Jake just lets one, has a good read, perfect read, went to the right place, just threw the ball high. And high balls inside can be tipped, and they got a turnover now in the momentum of the game. Now they get a reverse coming back in right here and get the edge a little bit and get about 10, 12 yards and get the momentum of the game. Now here they get a play action. They're going to throw a trick play back down the sideline, and great job right there by Marquez White coming over and Keelan Smith getting back over the top of it.
We played with your twos the whole way in the
Yeah, we did.
half.
So second half offense, defense, we played that first 5 or 6 plays on offense. That was it. Chris Casher, good job right here. Marquez White coming up making it, and that's a lot of quality snaps they get now. Again, trying to get this edge, and this is where we got a great tackle right here. Good job by Joe Demps. Can't give up that edge. And never let him outflank you. Right there, Marcus Alegway getting another great sack. Doing a great job. Now Lawrence in the game, played well. There's Desmond Holland doing great. Desmond's going to be a really good player. He keeps developing and developing. Good tackle right here, Reggie Northrop, being physical. Yeah, so I think that was a 4th down stop. Here we get a little flip play here to Carlos. Gets him great block right there by Bobo, he and Isaiah. And
Carlos got extended action.
yes, he did. And see right here, got to set. He didn't need to shuffle. Had a chance once, but got to stay in that pocket and let him pull the trigger. We got to block a little better, and Jake took a shot. But Jake's going to be a heck of a player now. Good job by Reggie Northrop, and get a face mask, I believe, there on top of that. And it was a good call. Not by on purpose, but he got his hand on it. Here they are getting a flat route here on the conversion down. Reggie, good job. Good job by Nate Andrews. Here they are driving down. Almost get that turnover right there by EJ. Great coverage by him. With a flat route here. We had a missed cover. We should have had a guy in the flat. We had a guy sitting there, and he missed the call and didn't get there. Here get good pressure, and they get the ball out in the flat, and they're driving it. Good tackle here by Wason, but they're just nickel and diming it and getting it down the field. And when they get caught, run a little speed play, and we got the leverage, and he sticks his foot in the ground and gets back inside. And it's 42-17 here, and they're getting momentum. Jake, now we got a little different run, a little quarterback draw on, and Jake's inches from breaking that. Almost come out of there. Watch it right here. Now he gets another one, and we're able to get a hat for a hat, and Jake is a big physical guy when he wants to run that football now. Good play action. He sees it, gets the bubble screen out of the corner. Now I'll tell you what now. Talk about special with the ball. This guy here, he and Bobo Wilson, those guys, they're real special in space. Here we get flushed out. Good hard run by Jake, picks up 3 or 4 yards, really nice. We have 3rd down play. We get that old reverse. There's a Coach Bowden call right here. Watch this block by Jake down the field. Here's your quarterback. When he's out there making a block like that, and that Kermit now, you talk about can scoot. He gets in space. He's hard to handle. We get a nice, that's his first college touchdown, and our best play. I thought the second half, really proud of him. He sold it. We got the reverse out there, and the guys did a good job, and they let him. And that guy's really special with the ball in his hand now, I'm telling you.
Did a nice job of setting up that block.
He really did. He has great pace. He's a natural runner with the football. That's why he's such a great return guy. Good job right here by Keelan Smith on the last drive, and our guys rallied and played really good here. Good job by Marquez and tackling, keeping him in bounds. get the last play of the game, and there we go. Ryan Green gets an. I'm going to tell you, Ryan about come out of there, about 12, 15-yard gain. He's explosive. He had a couple of nice runs in the game. It's great to see those guys. Weeks did a great job of Dave and his staff. They did a really nice job.
49-17, the final as Florida State gets the win, and you certainly have to be pleased with the result there. I know you probably went back and looked at the tape, and there's, any week you're going to say there's some things that need to clean up, and I'm sure that's the case.
We got a lot of room to get better in all three phases again, but started fast, lost a little focus, then got back into it, but got those young guys valuable time, and that's going to be critical. And a lot of great film work for them, and a lot of them seeing themselves on the game film. And it's different when you get out there in quality time against, and that was against their ones. Their first team offense and defense played the whole second half, so that's great work for our guys. And we'll just keep developing, try to get better, and get ready to play a great game this week.
Big play of the second half is sponsored by Xfinity, and it is the reverse and the first touchdown for Kermer. Now, you called it a Bobby call. Was that a tip of the cap to Coach Bowden with you calling a reverse?
We have it. I like reverses too. Now we just got to be at the right time. We felt, and we wanted to get it to him. So it was a good tribute to going out the door, I guess, at the end of the game. And it was great by Kermit to he can stick that ball in the end zone. He's one of those special guys that can really run those reverses.
Certainly can. Florida State gets the win, goes to 7-0, and they all count the same, but they don't necessarily all feel the same, at least from where I sit. To you, maybe they do, but my point is it's Miami week, and it is a little different. You know the history, obviously.
Exactly. This is one of the games you come to Florida State to play in. The Miami rivalry is one of the biggest rivalries in college football. Now it has great implications. Both of us being back in the top 10, which is significant, which it always used to be all the time, every year, year in, year out. Great players, great coaches, great environment, great atmosphere, and like you say, College game day will be here, and it's what's right about college football. And it's another great publicity for our program and their program and the ACC and the quality of ball that's being played in our conference.
We will talk more about the matchup with Miami coming up. Stay with us. Florida State 7-0 and welcoming the unbeaten Hurricanes to Tallahassee this weekend. There's more straight ahead here on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
Let's go behind the scenes of Seminole football with this week's Seminole Insider, presented by Hyundai.
Welcome back, everyone. Our special guest today is the new defensive coordinator of the Florida State football team, Jeremy Pruitt. And Coach, welcome inside the studio. How's the transition to Tallahassee been, coming to Florida State and being a first-time defensive coordinator?
Well, I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun working with this staff, Coach Fisher and everybody on the staff, especially the defensive staff with Sal and Odell and Charles and our support staff. We have a whole lot of fun every day, and there's never a dull moment. But it's really exciting to have the opportunity to be at Florida State and get a chance to do it the first time on my own and to have guys around me who have done it before. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been an easy transition.
There's so many times when you add new coaches, maybe you're not accustomed to them. That's not the case with you guys. You guys have been around each other for a number of years now. If it's any level of coaching, what's that been like to almost come into, I guess, a new family atmosphere for you?
Well, to me, the good thing about this whole staff is we all were familiar with each other at some point in time. Most everybody either had met each other, had worked with each other, or worked for the same, head coach somewhere along the line. So there was a lot of familiarity with each other. Jimbo makes it easy on everybody. I mean, he's such a people person, and it's we come grind it out every day, but we have fun while we're doing it. I mean, it's almost like you're sitting there and it's 11 o'clock at night, and where'd the day go?
Talk about a little bit about you. It's time to learn some more about Jeremy Pruitt, the person. Where are you originally from, and how did you get your start into football playing the game itself?
I'm from Rainsville, Alabama. which is a little small town northeast Alabama, about probably 45 minutes south of Chattanooga, 30 minutes from the Georgia line. But you know, my dad's a high school football coach, still is. So I've been raised around it my whole life. And when I was growing up, I wanted to be like my dad. I wanted to be a high school football coach. I saw the impact that him and my mom had on the kids in the community where I grew up, and that's what I wanted to be. And so that's just kind of how I got started.
What was growing up with football like, especially when you got into the high school ranks, playing at the high school level? I assume being coached by your own dad.
Right. No, it was a lot of fun to me. It's one of the most memorable moments, you know, as far as football for me. We were fortunate that we had a whole lot of success, and we got beaten in state championship games 2 times and semifinals 1 time. So there wasn't a whole lot of stress as far as winning and losing. We usually won, but it was a whole lot of fun for me because I'd spent a lot of time with my father from as long as I can remember. He was dragging me to the field house, so that's kind of how our family is. And now he does it with his grandboys, and you know, so it just kind of keeps going on.
What was your first introduction to coaching itself? How did you get involved in the coaching ranks? I remember talking to you, and you said, I didn't want to be a college football coach first. I wanted to be a high school coach,
Right.
And that's kind of where the introduction started.
Yeah, you know, when I got finished playing at Alabama, Coach Stallings had just announced his retirement. Mike Dubose got the job, and he asked me if I would stay on as a student assistant. I had never been redshirted, and I had a 5th year left to finish my degree, so I stayed on there, and that's how I got started. So I stayed there for a year, and then went to West Alabama for a year, and then kind of got back into the high school stuff.
You've had the opportunity to coach under so many great coaches. It's Coach Saban, Kirby Smart at Alabama, now obviously Coach Fisher with Sal Sunseri thrown in there as well. How has that molded you into a coach? How much have you taken from each one of those guys to make you the person you are today?
Well, I think all coaches, nobody hardly invents anything. You're usually stealing from somebody, and I would definitely say that's the case for me. I've been fortunate enough to be around some good football coaches, and I've just tried to take a little bit from all of them and kind of mold it into what we're trying to do here.
Talk about your personality as a coach itself. I think you had even mentioned when you first came here, you loved the attitude from day one of the Florida State guys. Even from having a new guy like you come in, they bought in right away. Your system was something they were eager to kind of participate in.
Right, and you know, it's funny to me every time you know somebody asks me a question, or you know, what's the system? What is the system that you're trying to do? Is it? And everybody keeps saying, well, you are a 3-4 team. Well, if you look how we play, we don't really play much 3-4. You know, we're a little more pattern match. That's a little more, I'd say, the system we're bringing in. But our kids have had a great attitude and been a joy to coach, been a joy to be around. They're used to winning. They want to be successful, and very hard workers. So,
what excites you most about your defense this year?
I think the way they come to work every day. You know, they come to work every day. They want to be good. You know, and to me, to have success over a long period of time, most people have a hard time sustaining, and you got to do the right thing all the time. And our guys are trying to do that. They're trying to do it. Have we done it so far this year all the time? No. But I think each week we're progressively getting a little better each week. So that's probably what excites me the most.
Hey, best of luck throughout the rest of the season.
Not a problem.
We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show. We already started talking a little bit about Miami, but as we look ahead, this is presented by Florida Farm Bureau. And the rivalry is what it is. It's a tremendous rivalry, and this is the first time in a while that both teams come in as highly ranked as they are. So all the eyes of the country will be on this game this week.
College game day will be here. It's huge implications for our conference and the national title race. Everything you want in a game, and especially when it's two great rivals in the state of Florida. That's why you play these games. That's what you want to come to college for, and why you come to Florida State to be able to play against Miami and some of these games.
Talk a little bit about, there's been plenty of talk about Jameis Winston, who's played very well, but Stephen Morris has been a very good quarterback for Miami in his days.
Can throw it, can run it, got great players around him. They're very dynamic, very explosive on offense. Duke Johnson can run the football. They got great playmakers out wide. They're very physical up front. Offensive line, their offense is a heck of an offense.
Of course, from a coaching standpoint, you obviously know the offensive coordinator pretty well, James Coley, because he was here. But Al Golden, with what he's done there, having to weather sort of that NCAA cloud, he's done a nice job.
Al's done a great job. He's managed that program and got them back to being relevant again, just like we have done up here and going through a lot of storms. And there's a lot of good players in South Florida, so he's been able to get his share of them, and he's coaching them up, and they got a great team.
You've had more than your share of South Florida players over the years. Sometimes you hear that the outcome of this game impacts recruiting. Does it impact it that much, or you're going to get your share no matter what?
I think both sides end up getting their share, but it doesn't hurt it. It doesn't hurt that you win it and be successful. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a big stage and a big atmosphere, and as always, you talk about this a lot. You got to block out the clutter and not be ready to play on Wednesday. Be ready to play Saturday night at 8.
Exactly right. We got all the attention's going to come to you, which is great. Which I said we've got to get used to handle. If you're going to play in significant games and be a program that you want to be, but you got to understand it's a power preparation. Again, we got to prepare Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so we can play on Saturday and learn to eliminate the play.
Sounds good. It's going to be a great time this weekend at Doak Campbell Stadium. 8 o'clock kick. Of course, if you're headed to College game day, that'll start much earlier in the day. Big weekend, Canes and Noles this weekend in Tallahassee. Stay with us. We've got a little bit more straight ahead when we come back right here on the Jimbo Fisher Show. Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher Show, Florida State and Miami week. Coach, you talked about how valuable that playing time and opportunity was for your twos. It's also valuable because, you're at a stretch now, having used both bye weeks, that you're going to play several weeks in a row. So if you got a chance to not have your ones in there, you might as well take advantage of it.
Exactly right, and take care of their bodies. The bodies only got so many hits in them in a year, and you got to be able to manage that and how you practice them, and that being able to get those reps for those guys not only helped them grow, but it helped our older guys rest and take care of their bodies. There's no doubt.
Do you, and I realize this is a big week, a rivalry week, Miami, an unbeaten team, but at this point in the season, do you taper off? Do you change the structure of practice at all because people start to get worn down?
Well, it just depends on that depends on where your team's at, and that's where I think our GPS system, which we use, it monitors how our guys' bodies, how much work they have, where their bodies are, where they're tired. We manage off of that, and then we adjust practice accordingly all the time. So we'll adjust and see what our input and our information we're getting back from there it is, and which is very critical right now. Allows me to make a lot better decisions about practice and how to do things.
All right, it will be a big week of practice and preparation for Florida State. Noles and Canes, 8 o'clock, under the lights, national TV audience. Coach, best of luck this week.
Thank you very much.
All righty, we will have the highlights and the recap for you next week right here. We'll see you then on the Jimbo Fisher Show.
The Jimbo Fisher Show has been brought to you by the Florida Lottery, proud sponsor of FSU Athletics, the Florida Department of Transportation, drive sober or get pulled over, the energy-saving conservation programs of Tico Peoples Gas, Camping World and Good Sam, your one-stop shop for everything RV, Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories, the Gem Collection, finest quality jewelry, extraordinary service, and the best possible prices. SunTrust, the official bank of the Florida State Seminoles. Nick's Toggery, provider of Coach Fisher's wardrobe.